Yo, peace, world. What's going on? Substantial in the house. Got my brother Marcus D in the building.
Yo.
I know it is Friday for y'all, for a lot of y'all, depending on where you're watching in the world, but it is Saturday morning for us. So happy Friday to those of you in a part of the world where it's still Friday, and happy Saturday to us folks, in the Eastern Hemisphere. So, yeah, man. Peace to everyone in the chat. We got a lot of folks in the house already. Shout out, hey, Kevin Sabio in the building. So, like, just to give you heads up, Marcus, we have something in the live that we call, like, we have a small community within the community called the Council of Kevins, because we have a lot of Kevins over here. You know what I mean? So 3 out of 4 Kevins approve of Substantial. So, shout out to the Council of Kevins, because we also have Early Bird in the house, who is also a Kevin.
Is there a leader of the council, or are they all equally Kevin?
I think the leader is usually whoever's first, and Early Bird usually is first. But as you can see here, he's letting the white delegation down, and he is late. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say the name
Right.
denotes earliness.
right.
Promptness.
You know what I'm saying? And and like he does, his complexion doesn't allow him to qualify for CP time. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely get on Kev early when he's late. You know what I mean? But shout out to early. Shout out to Kevin Sabio. He says, "What's good, supporter family? Finally made it back. Sorry for being MIA. Been dealing with some personal tragedy lately. Glad to be back, man. Sorry for your losses, brother. And the difficult time you're going through. I think I saw it on one of the other platforms. So, sending healing energy to you and your fam, man, and wishing y'all nothing but the best. Jared is in the building. Jared says, "Yo, Substantial and Marcus D live on a live. Let's go. Yep. Isn't it like 1 a.m. in Japan? Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I try to stay consistent. I know y'all see Marcus flashing stuff in the back. We getting to that real soon. We still got to let the council of Kevin commits. Yes. All right. Hey, what up, sis? Good to see you up in here. Smiley in the building. One is awake, one is asleep. Yeah, I wonder who's the sleepy looking one. It's probably me. Yo, I went into the room, like when I told you I was coming upstairs. Hey, bro, I fell asleep in the chair. In the chair for like that whole, I think when you came up to check, I had only been up for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, bro.
Nice, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, it's been a whole lot of random naps. You know what I mean? Let's see. What up, Detroit? What up? Second that motion. Let's commence with the celebrating of our throat. Our throat, not goat, throat. All right. Nah, it's the Covenant.
The cabinet.
Yes, indeed. Bop Alloy in the house. What up, Steph? It's Steph, y'all. Yo. So, man, we got a lot of things to talk about. Since we got Bop Alloy stuff out already, we want to show them some things. Marcus, speak to the people, man.
Let's do it.
I know I've been running my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this is your show.
I mean,
I'm just a guest.
Right.
Yeah. So we finally got some copies of the 2 LP version of the album. It is beautiful.
Marvelous.
It's exactly what I envisioned and hoped it would be when we got it in our hands, which can be, I don't know, vinyl pressing is like, it's kind of like, it's a gamble every time, especially like mostly with the disc itself, but the overall presentation, because you don't get proofs, physical proofs. You get test pressing, so when they make the glass master of the vinyl, the lacquer, I'm talking about CDs. The lacquer, when they get the lacquer and they make the master copy of the album, you get the test pressing, you listen to it, and you approve it. And then, you know what the data is, what it sounds like. That's the only thing that you can actually approve and that you can check beforehand. But you don't get the actual jacket. You don't get the color of the discs. You can't do, test pressings of like the disc. Anything like that, so it's very hard to tell.
You saw he just flashed a little thigh, right? Just give you a little, just a smidge.
But you don't get the, you can't really see what it's going to look like. So it really is just gambling. When you get it, you hope that it's decent. The embossing on here also was another thing that was a variable, because we did do like spot UV embossing. So it's the same thing. I had this on Melancholy Hopeful and the Earth Angel LP. And basically it's not foil, but it's like,
Take it off your hands.
yeah, it's embossing. So it's raised. So here on the speaker, on the microphone over there, and then on the Lotus speaker up above here.
And you'll notice that the light, like when I do like that, you see how it's reflecting in certain areas.
Yeah.
How it has that sheen to it. And then on the front too. Right?
Yep.
The sun.
Yep.
Notice how on like other parts of it doesn't do that, but on the sun, yeah, man.
The
Yeah.
sun and then the clouds.
No, not the
Not
clouds. It's just the sun.
Yep.
Here comes the sun. Now, are we ready to flash that inside?
Let's do it.
Oh,
Look at that. Come on.
not sexy.
Come on.
Sissy. Sissy. Oh my God. I def know hubby about to cop the vinyls immediately. And yo, today's a good day to cop too, right? Because today is Bandcamp Friday. So if you haven't copped already, today is the day where like more of the money goes to the artist. Bandcamp allows us to keep 100%, outside of processing fee. But yeah, man, save me one to purchase. Well, sis, you're on it.
You don't need to purchase.
Yeah,
anything,
you're
Steph,
you're on it,
know.
and I think you supported the Kickstarter campaign. Even though you're on it, we appreciate you. We ain't gonna block a blessing, so thank you. You know what I mean? Peace, y'all. Seattle in the building. What's going on? Yes, indeed. Looks dope. Looks like a rare Pokemon card. Nice. Not the Sessy. Yeah. Shout out to Tone Deaf, man. Whenever we talk about certain things, we're like, I like that Sessy. Hey, yeah. Hey, what up, Happy Mochi? That art is fire. Man, you never lie, bro. The inside looks so fire. Thank you. Absolutely love the art, y'all. It looks amazing. How long are you in Japan, Stan? I am here to, I think, Tuesday? It's next Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday evening, something like that, like early evening. But yeah, man, this is the treat, man. We got more to show, though, right?
Yeah, we do.
Because we ain't see the records.
Yeah, it's the panels and everything. This is the track listing for people who don't know anything about the pressing or anything. Didn't support the Kickstarter. This has the track listing on it. It was designed and illustrated by Shuhei Matsuyama, who did all the other Bob Viola stuff except the second album, which substantially
I did
himself.
Inspired by art he did originally, so
true.
he's still a part of it in a
And
way.
this is still part of the same universe. You got Saxophone Jones is still the main character in this. It's still the same character from the very first album cover. It's just it's built upon since then. So this is when you get it and you see it yourself, you'll be able to like kind of figure out what the narrative is and what the different panels mean. So on the back, which showed you earlier, but also track listing, and then we got the discs on the inside. So I'll show you guys that.
Sexy.
So each disc is going to be a little bit different since it's
Let me hold that one. You get the second one.
But it's red translucent vinyl.
So
With
can't really see my hand through it from this angle, but yeah.
With gold, yellow, with marble.
So yeah, it's hard to see the accents with the light that's hitting it right now.
Yeah, this one's got like some crazy. Yeah, the light is hard to tell, but this one looks more orange because it has more of the smoke in it. So you can tell.
Yeah, one's slightly darker than the other. Yeah.
But it's got like orange smoke on it. This disc is actually much more orange than the other one over here.
Yeah, because of how the light's hitting it, you can't see that. You can see through it, but without the bright ass light shining on it, you would be able to see something that's up under it. You know what I mean?
From here you can tell. See, so that's not. See how the reflection? You can see the orange on the left there. So that's this one has more of that, and then the different labels. So the side C and D that I'm holding is the instrumentals.
And that is the album.
Yeah, so I also played it the other day. Sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're gonna be done very soon, and the
Mm-hmm.
shipping will be going to the States so they can get out to everybody who has supported and ordered so far. And the 1 LP versions, which are not the gatefold, they'll be done pressing later this month, and then they'll be shipping out to the U.S. to ship to you guys too. So appreciate you guys' patience, and it will be worth the wait, because I can tell you that we've been waiting, a lot longer than most people for this album to be done.
No lies detected.
And I'm extremely satisfied with the outcome. So I'm sure you guys will be too. So thanks again for your support and for being patient with us and letting us do our thing.
We got a great question from one of the viewers saying, which songs off the new record are your favorite / ones you're most proud of? I was gonna let you, because they've some of them have asked me before.
Okay,
but
which
yeah.
song of the new record, favorite ones you're most proud of?
Mm-hmm.
So they're different, actually. So that's a great question. Last song I'll ever write is definitely one I'm most proud of.
Yeah.
Say It Again is definitely one that I'm most proud of, because getting One Below on a Bipolar track is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And the verse that he did for it is crazy, and the whole overall concept that Stan came up with is sick. And I loved it when we recorded the first part, and then we were waiting to see if One Below was going to actually be able to be on it or not. And the fact that it that's who we had in mind when we did the song, and then that's who was on it at the end. That's why it's another one I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Personally, ones that I like the most, Audio Sunshine is like,
Yeah. It's a banger, man.
that's my shit. And then I like Say It Again a lot. I like One Prize a lot. Man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Audio Sunshine and Say It Again.
Yeah. As far as ones I'm most proud of, there's a lot of overlap from Marcus Answer and mine. Obviously, last song I'll ever write, for like different reasons. I started writing that during the first session and finished it by the second session. And then of course having Uyama be a part of that just kind of took it over even more. So definitely most proud of that particular one. Another one I would put in the most proud of is Old Souls. Partly because Old Souls, low key, was the one that I started writing first for the project, but it was the last one to be finished.
And we almost cut it.
Yeah, and we almost cut it. Yeah. So I started writing, I had the chorus for that, I think before I even got to Japan. But like once we started writing and stuff and I started getting in the zone, I was writing everything but that. And then eventually I circled back to that and then finished it. But when we recorded it, like I hadn't really got enough reps in yet, haven't really figured the direction and all of that. And nowadays, like when I am doing that, I'm really doing that at home 90+% of the time. So I can kind of take as long as I want. Typically, one thing that was very different for this album that's than how I typically record, I definitely got a decent amount of reps in, but like I don't commit the songs to memory per se, but I spit them so many times in a row, like that, like muscle memory starts to kick in by the time I record it. So like, something I've become more conscious of over the years is trying to record songs as close to what the live version would sound like, because oftentimes the live version, like our performances, I feel like make the songs like sometimes better than the recorded joint because of the energy and stuff, especially depending on the vibe. So I just felt like I kind of, when I listened to the old recording, of Old Souls. Like it felt rushed, right? Like I didn't really do everything I could do to make it whatever. So when I went back into it, when I listened to it when I was done, I was like, hey, shit kind of fire. You know what I mean? And then I re-recorded I think like another layer of the hook, and then that's when I added the yeah yeah. Shout out to the yeah yeahs. That's the unofficial background singers of the whole.
The third or the fourth collaborator on the album.
Yeah, yeah. Look, and then I said yeah yeah.
The fourth member.
You may notice that there's at least 5 songs where I say some version of yeah yeah, like on all the joints. It was just kind of like a filler thing that just found its way into everything on the record, and then it wasn't until we were mixing, I think, where I started noticing that. Like, so it's on Old Souls. It's on Last Song I'll Ever Write.
It's on Audio Sunshine.
Audio Sunshine. And then it's on, what's the joint called?
It's on Wind Blows, too.
Wind Blows. Yeah! Somebody was laughing at me in one of the, I think when I was playing the album last week, they were laughing. Yeah. They were like, talking about, they noticed me saying that. But, so those 2 records are probably the ones off top that I'm most proud of. My 2 favorites, since I did 2 joints, I'll do 2 favorites. 2 favorites. At the moment, I'm gonna say Audio Sunshine, because I'm really happy that we were able to get Blue on the record. That I feel like that's a collaboration that since my album Sacrifice came out, which was around the same time that that Blue and Exile's first project came out, people have been talking to me about Blue and was just like, yo, man, it'd be dope if y'all did something together. So since like 2008, 2009, people have been coming up to me saying that. So Marcus being able to make that happen for this record was a big deal. And him hearing the verse and being down like almost immediately, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, we had, as quick as we sent them the rough, like I feel like we got it back. Like it wasn't even a week.
No, it was within the time that you were here.
Yeah, bro. Like I think I was
back in like 3 days.
Yeah, it was crazy. So so that was really dope. So it's one of my favorite joints, especially when Marcus played the beat that comes in the second half. Like we almost didn't, like I'll say me, I almost passed on the beat only because it sounded so much like the first half of Audio Sunshine, even though vibe wise like one's a bit more bright, right, where the other's a little like, you know, a little lower, feels a little more chill, a little slow. Yeah, yes, yeah. But I felt like there were similarities in the beat that made me feel like, oh, maybe they're too close, right? And so then that's when it came to ideas like, yo, like, you know, we can make part of it be this, and then I'll write this third verse over that and fuse it together. You know what I mean? And that worked out crazy. And then the cuts.
Yeah, the 2000s fabulous video treatment.
Yeah.
Go from one beat to the next.
Right.
And that's the thing. That was one of my, like, the first one was one of my favorite beats that I had at the time. And when I made the beat, I was like, man, this is one of those beats that you, like, you know, you hope that it finds, like, a home that where somebody does it justice.
Yeah.
And that it becomes like something that is memorable.
Right.
Because a lot of times you make great beats as a producer, you make great beats and they sit forever. And they might, even if somebody uses them, they might, most of the times they don't ever become anything worth playing over and over again, right?
Yeah.
So like the fact that you found that beat and then did what you did with it, and then Blue did what he did. And then the second beat was one that I had just made that I was like, yo, I love this beat so much, and I was playing it over and over again. And then when you came, like, for some reason, I don't even know why we pulled that up.
Yeah.
But I think I was probably just trying to show off. Like, yo, check
that, and we still were short a few beats. We still needed a few more beats to close the project out.
So we were still going through stuff. Yeah,
because I wrote half of it when I came back, the rest of it.
That's right. Because I just made that, like, maybe 2-3 weeks before. And, yeah, that was another one where I was... So those 2 beats were ones that I also... were 2 of my favorite beats that became one of my favorite songs, and that's super rare.
Yeah,
it really doesn't happen.
Yeah, man.
So I'm grateful that you guys turned it into something that became one of my favorite tracks that I've ever done, and then also that it's on the album and now eternalized on vinyl. So.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's a great joint. Real quick before we keep it going, let's show 2 other merch items that have arrived. So that is the enamel pen, as you can see. You know, you can see the texture on it and stuff. Saxophone Jones with the gold back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Fire.
It's pretty. It's so pretty. You know. But yeah, man, the texture's dope. It's a nice weight to it too. You know. And then, oh, that whole.
Get that biscuit hair off there.
little biscuit, biscuit all over this joint. That's Marcus D's dog, but this is the Bob Alloy. The hat looks like the old one, but got the the back cover of the new album on there. Yeah, bro, came out so good, So, yeah, man, nice joint. Nice size joint. It's a little deeper than the old hat. So shout out to my folks with locks. You'll be happy about that. You know what I mean? I know that was a complaint for some of my people with long hair from the other joint. Thank you. All right. Hive, what up, man? Yo, we're gonna be talking about your joint in a second. All right. Appreciate you, good brother. Good to see you up in here, man. And congrats. Happy release day to Javier Starks. We're gonna play his joint. You might have saw it in the Sub-Art Music stories or my stories earlier. Make sure y'all go stream that. Produced by Marcus D. Javier Stocks is also on the album. That was one of my favorite collabs to do, actually. Throw that in the mix. That was one of my favorite collabs on the album simply because it was the only collab we did on the album where the person we collab with was in the studio. So, like, Hav, that was, I think, the only song that was recorded completely like at my place, right? And so me and Hav got to work on it in the studio together, like work on the hook and all of that. And that song came out amazing. I can't wait for us to start performing that joint too, Hav. It's gonna be crazy. And thank y'all. Glad y'all like the merch. Let's get to some of these other questions. So hold on, I think it was one I missed from before. Got that one. Early was talking about the Coliseum shot in the video. He said the Coliseum shot in the video was tough. Why did that guy walk by through at the end? Yo, listen, that right there, that's what there's a part where you don't see it in the video because I cut it, but I literally look over at Marcus like, yo, that was divine timing, bro, because he literally walks through when I say I was like, they witness your light and then they try to dim it. So if you pay attention to what I'm saying, right, like they witness your light and then they try to dim it, he crosses in front of me right when I say that. And so instantly my mind was like, yo, that's fire. And then I'll be able to do like a fade to black right at that moment. So even though that wasn't intentional with the guy doing that, partly the reason why that happened two different times, because there's another part where I'm rapping and a lady walks by and you see it and I go behind her and I'm like, you don't have no idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you see, shout out to Wild Child, my man, Keith Wildchild Middleton, he goes like that at her. And like the reason why that kept happening is because people didn't know we were recording. We were standing next to each other and I'm rapping through the stuff and you can hear the music playing. But the camera, it wasn't someone holding the camera, right? Like I set it down on the ground and then we try to stay far enough away from it. And I was using my watch as a monitor to be able to make sure the cropping of the shot was good with the Coliseum in the background. So that's not a shot that's composed of like different images. That's literally, that was, all in camera. Like that's how we got it. And so yeah, man, thank you, man. I knew it was gonna be like an iconic moment, especially for that song and stuff. It's one of the harder songs on the record. To quote AJ Rios, "Hard Alloy," right? But yeah, man, it came out really dope. Someone asked, "How are we?" We are great, thank you. Then the question is, are you guys still keeping Nujabes' soul in your music? So yeah, I don't know like how to really answer that. I would say that even when I was making music with him, right? Like I think what I do, like my goal isn't to, when I'm making songs, like, the people, not everyone I've lost, because Nujabes isn't the only person that I've worked with that I've lost, right? Or the only person I've lost in my life, regardless to the opportunities that the brother gave me, right? Like, so it's not something that that I'm consciously always thinking about like, or like I'm not thinking about like what would Nugent best think of this. There are moments where I'll make something that'll make me think of him, like in hindsight, and then I'll be like, yeah, I think he would have dug this joint. But like honestly, I think a lot of it is really, I'm just doing what it is I was already doing before I met him, and then obviously the things I learned along the way, because that was like a um, not a like a super small part of my journey. In terms, I know for a lot of other people, those songs are like some of the biggest songs I've ever done. So people kind of see it as like the main, like it's the main character almost. But like when you really think about that time, it's that first trip is 25 songs that we recorded. The second trip is roughly about 6 or 7 songs, maybe seven songs, including Blessing It, and Eclipse, right? And so in that period of time, it's like 32 songs, and then we recorded more. So we recorded somewhere between 30 probably 5 to 40 songs, something like that. But most of that was recorded from 2000 up until 2007, right? And so yeah, man. And while he's absolutely a part of my journey and stuff like that, and I do my best to honor him. But it's like I don't do what I do to try to kind of recapture like some of what we were doing. Like if anything, like anytime that something sounds like it's in that vein, it's really me trying to maybe take an idea and elevate it, right? So I think those that we lost, like once they join the ancestors, whether we're conscious of it or not, they're still with us. You know what I mean? But like, let me be clear, like I don't make music with the objective to try to kind of I guess recapture some of what we were doing. Like sometimes I'll hear stuff that he does and it's like I can hear some of those through lines, right? But like just being real with y'all, like we're not sitting around being like, let's make something that sound like Nujabes did it. You know what I mean? So the question was like, how like are you guys keeping Nujabes' soul in your music? You know what I mean? And so it's an interesting question. It's like I got an idea of what the person's trying to say, but I think the fact that you're thinking about it right now, and for a lot of people where like Nujabes is at the forefront of their mind, like when they experience our stuff or anything connected to him in some way,
Yeah.
I think like that's going to come through regardless. You see what I'm saying? Because of how you feel about their stuff already. So just us being in the room or just us sharing our music, like you're gonna feel his presence in there just because like we're connected to that legacy, right? Like I was a part of that legacy. So
I think also because, sorry not to cut you off, but I think it's
nah,
also
please.
because of the niche, right?
Yeah.
So like if this were like Pete Rock or DJ Premier, right, and they passed away, like Dilla passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Dilla was much bigger
Mm-hmm.
than Nujabes. So if somebody like is doing like the drum sequences and swing in the spirit of Dilla,
Yep.
it's not like they're necessarily thinking of Dilla while they're making the beat,
Mm-hmm.
or they're like, yo, this is a tribute for Dilla because like I'm using this type of swing.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Dilla basically surpassed that style of being niche, right? So he became a staple in hip hop.
Yeah,
where
he literally
his swing became the staple of a certain sound.
Mm-hmm.
But with Nujabes, it's different because still most people don't know who he is, right? There's a lot more who do know who he is now than there were before he passed away, and he's gotten bigger and bigger. But I think it's still more niche, so that if people do, when things are more niche, people who know, that same thing, there's like a common connection between them. We're like, oh,
right.
I know him too.
Right.
So, but with things that aren't niche, it doesn't really have that feeling because everybody knows about it, right? If you don't know Dilla, you don't really know hip hop.
Right.
But the same can't be said about Nujabes because it's more niche, right?
Yeah.
But people who do know share a special connection. Where if like Premier or Pete Rock died, right? That's people, took their sound and were inspired by somebody to begin with. Everybody has a jumping off point. Certain people's are just different. So if like there's a lot like dudes like Marco Polo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Started out listening to DJ Premier. They emulated him and like practiced and made beats with him in mind
Yep.
until they started to create their own sound,
Mm-hmm.
and then their bias and their perspective and their growth and their life
Yep.
started to shape their sound, started coming out more in their own compositions, their own production, to where it became less like just a copy of DJ Premier
Mm-hmm.
and more of like somebody who's influenced by Premier, obviously, but
Yeah.
now has their own sound. So as you start to create more and more, your jumping off point is always going to be something that you hear in that person's sound,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to sound like a carbon copy of them.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just quick things, right? Like a good example of what he was just mentioning is when you listen to my album, To This Union, the Sun is Born, right? Was born. When you listen to that record, you can hear Nujabes like doing his best impression of other producers that he clearly liked, right? Like when you listen to a song like Somebody Stole My Shit, right? When you listen to that, that's Nujabes doing his DJ Premier impression. You see what I'm saying? So, and a lot of the people at the time the record came out, right? Outside of Japan like embraced that record immediately. But when I got back to New York and played that record, a lot of the artists that I was cool with, like some of these folks are like staples in hip hop now. People y'all know, some people you might not. But when I played it, a lot of them just kind of were looking at me sideways, like, why you going backwards? Right? Like this sounds like they like the moment I would play it for, they would run down a list of stuff that it came out like in some cases like 5 years before, right? Like stuff that was like early 90s, mid 90s that the record reminded them of, right? So it was difficult to kind of make like waves like with that record when it first came out outside of Japan initially, and then I met some people who were on their purist stuff that when they heard it and they saw like the direction New York and other places were starting to go musically, and they missed that sound, and so there were some people who adapted it more so on the West Coast. I was getting more love out there initially. And then there were a couple of little pockets of places where they were rocking with what we were doing, because again, that first record, Nujabes still hadn't really fully developed his sound yet, like the sound that I think everyone associates with him. And that was one of the big arguments that we had at one point, like because I was pointing that out to him even before people had told me that. That's part of why I like some of his stuff, because it sounded like the type of stuff that I was writing to and when I was living in Maryland, even before I moved to New York. Like it was reminiscent of that era of hip hop I grew up on. So I liked it. I liked what he was doing, but I also was very clear with him in some of our conversations, like, yo, this stuff that you're doing at the moment, this is 2000, 2001 when we're having these conversations and debate. I'm like, bro, the way you're speaking about it, you're making it, what you're currently doing, sound more groundbreaking than it is, mostly because, yo, like in the underground, people are still doing this, but this was what the mainstream sounded like at one point in time in hip hop, for those of you who weren't there. Like mainstream hip hop sounded like this. So a lot of people were exposed to this sound already. And so that's why you'll find interviews with me where like I'll tell people initially what we were doing. I viewed us not as doing something groundbreaking, but more so being torchbearers. What made us groundbreaking was the fact that, or made us break new ground, is the fact that when everyone else departed from the sound and started to move away from it, we planted ourselves. And I'm sorry, like my arm is like cutting. It was like, nah, get your face out of it. You know what I'm saying? We moved on. But nah, we planted ourselves in that lane and was just like, nah, bro, like somebody has to remain. And number one, but two, it's still dope. It's still dope. You would hear newer records, even nowadays. You'll hear records that have new sound, new sounding production on it, and then they'll have moments where they'll have something that sounds like it's from that era, because that sound, it's never going away. It's a classic sound. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But and then the other thing, going back to Dilla, right? Like, and how groundbreaking what Dilla did in terms of, Dilla didn't just change like sonic and like and textures as well. Like Dilla literally changed the way people play live music. Like, yo, like if you have not read the book Dilla Time, right? And part of what makes Dilla Time so dope is it's not just this history of Dilla, right? It's actually a history of Detroit and how the city is born and leading up to when Dilla comes into play. And then it also talks about the science of music. That book is excellent. Like, it talks about the science of music and how music is traditionally played, and how what Dilla did ultimately changed how drummers play. Like, literally, my daughter was in drum classes, and she came to me. She was like, "Yo, my teacher was teaching me about Dilla today." And I was like, "What you mean?" And this is like bald-headed white guy, like in Falls Church, Virginia, fam, teaching my black daughter about like Jay Dilla. He didn't know.
Prime audience nowadays.
Right, for 100%. But he's talking to her about like how she had an accident like when she was playing, and she played it slightly off, but it still worked. And he was like, "Oh, you're doing Dilla time. That's crazy. You're doing that naturally." And like, she wasn't. It's partly because she hadn't really developed perfect timing and stuff like that yet. But how she was playing, she was still on beat, but she was just slightly behind it. And so he started educating her on what Dilla time was. And so when you listen to artists who program like that, just understand there are also artists who play like that, largely because of what he was doing. So just talking about that influence and how sometimes the thing that an artist does becomes the idea. There we go. The idea becomes bigger than the artist sometimes. Mm-hmm. But of course, those of us who are directly connected to that artist, we're still kind of torchbearers, like whether we're conscious of it or not in those moments. Like, their legacy lives on through what we do, whether we're talking about them or not. So I would say that to anyone who listens to me, waiting for me to make obvious references to Nujabes, and put some respect on my man Dexstream name, bro. Let's keep it a 1,000%. The first big song I did with Hideout was produced by DJ Dexstream. You know what I mean? Like, Lyrical Terrorist did his thing too and did well. But even Lyrical Terrorist single, when that came out, the bigger version of that song was the remix that DJ Dexstream did at the time when he was known by Mona Resic. And then when my second single, but first single from my album came out, the biggest song on it wasn't Nujabes' remix of Home Sweet Home. It was the original version, which Dexstream did. So, yo, trust, Nujabes was the genius behind Hideout in terms of like what they were doing and the how they were building the business. But in terms of that early sound, right, like before it kind of pivoted to the instrumental stuff and the more melancholy stuff that people know it for, Dexstream was a part of that foundation when he was known as Mona Risic, and had some of the biggest records to come out there. And so I feel like one of the biggest disservices we do to his legacy is not speaking enough about that, because we also lost him, and there aren't, like, at least I don't hear about events honoring his legacy. And he's like whenever they do the tribute events for Nujabes, unless I'm there, you know what I mean, participating in it, I feel like he's an afterthought a lot of times, if he's thought about it all. So yeah, man, rest in peace to them both, but we got to keep it moving.
And they shared drums too.
Yeah, they did.
A lot of people don't know. I mean, when you hear like the production on it, it was obviously to keep it cohesive throughout the album.
Yep.
But a lot of those were Dexstream drums.
Yeah,
that he gave to Nujabes.
for sure. For
Not
sure.
the other way around.
Man, listen, some of my favorite beats in those sessions, like there was a beat that me and Verbal rapped on for a song called Independence, which never came out. But yo, that was one of the best beats of all 25 of those songs that we did. One of the best beats, right? Drums were fire, sample was fire, but Nujabes was pointing out something that Odyssey pointed out to me later, which was that because of how the phrasing, like of the sample and how it worked, we already had a record that sounded similar in terms of how the sample was chopped. And so he thought that, we should cut it. And then plus, like also, because nobody from my crew could be on my solo album, because none of them were out here to record, we ended up cutting any song that featured like a rapper who wasn't a part of my crew. You know what I mean? So, because I caught a lot of heat back home, like from the different crews I was a part of, from my New York, some, not all of them, but some of my New York fam definitely felt the way when I got that opportunity, and it wasn't extended to like anybody outside of me. And then my crew UV, like back in Maryland, there were not all of them, but there were members who felt the way for sure, Anyway, let's do it. Hold up. Says, well, such a cool insight on the collaboration with Blue, my favorite MC. On a track, call it Audio Sunshine. Yes, indeed. Boom. Man, grateful for you too, Harv. That pen goes hard. Yo, no lies detected. Damn, that's so great. Thank you. It's gorgeous. Merch is fire. Fascinating cap, guys. Thank you. Hop says, love you, Marcus. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
First Bop Alloy and now Blue in Exile released a joint project. You four are killing it right now.
We planned it like that.
Man, it was all a part of our master plan. Bro, universe be universe. And let me tell you, what would have been dope is if we could have toured together. That would have been amazing. You know what I mean? What is your favorite song from, I'm assuming you meant Bop Alloy, not Bob Alloy, but favorite song from Bop Alloy in general.
I gotta ask.
Yes.
I gotta just saw what's his name?
Kakaroto. Kakaroto.
What is that? That's Goku's.
Mm.
So when you typed in Bop Alloy, what made you put the B instead of the P? Because it's a common thing that happens a lot. Like
it happens.
Like frequently. Like not just sometimes. It's
like
it's like 1 out of 3.
Yeah, it happens.
I want some insight. Like,
right.
Did you do it on purpose, like thinking that it is Bob Alloy, or was it just like a because the P and the B aren't close to each other.
Yo, they are not.
So it has to be like a conscious decision.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit and wait for an answer. We can move on to other stuff, but we'll come.
All right, we'll come back to your question after you answer that. Kakaroto. All right. Caught that. It looked amazing. I don't think I've seen any rappers in front of the Coliseum. Yo, shout out. There's a song called Prince George by IDK and Corday, where they're rapping in Italy and they're in some old school joints, but I don't know if I can't remember if they had a shot in front of the Coliseum though. Yeah. The man got any shows playing for MD? It's funny. When we were at 7-Eleven, a few minutes ago, my man called me asking me about doing a show at National Harbor. So if that pans out, like I'm gonna work it out once I get back to the States. But if that pans out, I will let y'all know. You know what I mean? Let's see. Shout out to Dan Carnes and Dilettante Book. Yo, can't stress it enough. Excellent read. That it's for anybody who considers themselves a bit of a hip hop historian or music historian. It should be required reading. For real. Yeah, man. I definitely, if anybody ever want a list of books that are hip hop related to read, I can give you some great ones for sure. Make sure y'all like the video, man. They dropping gems right now. Appreciate it. And shout out, we 18 deep. Shout out to Mona Rissick, aka DJ Dextrine. That Lyrical Terrorist remix is fire. Yeah, straight up. What a great answer. I'm really grateful for you and thank you very much, man. Your mindset is really sharp. I appreciate that you guys know his music can't be reproduced. I also can sense his aura in your music. Respect. All right. Nuja Best using DJ Dextrine drums. Right. This is what I'm saying.
Listen to Home Sweet Home, right?
Yo. Come on, bro.
And then listen to the other drums on multiple things.
Come on, bro. Yeah, man. Deck was when it came to drum programming, there's moments definitely where Jen does his thing on that early record. I'm mainly talking about the earlier stuff, not the later stuff. Cause my favorite Nuja Best album is Modal Soul, right? When we get to that joint, I literally call him up and I'm like, bro, this is it. You know what I mean? It's when I really found I really felt like it's yo, all right, you found your thing. Even though truthfully he's also pulling a lot from Fat John, you know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah, he's pulling a lot from Fat John. But part of the challenge I gave to him when we had one of our back and forths was just yo, you're doing a lot of stuff that's already been done early on when we're starting to work. And I was just it's cool that you think highly of what you're doing, but if you trying to be remembered in this, bro, we got to do something different. And so I think he started to figure that out, but obviously he was still pulling a lot from I think what he started to do later on is what a lot of artists do is you start pulling inspiration from closer resources, you know what I mean? Instead of just pulling from the people who you don't know or can't meet and whoever's hot at the time. As you start to grow as an artist and spend more time with the artists, you start to become peers with artists you admire. like, yo, y'all, you learn from them. You know what I mean? You know, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, man.
And like, as somebody who has, like, the closest thing there is to like a Nujabes historian, right? Like
Mm,
knowing people that like I wasn't his personal friend,
yeah,
but know all the people around him, and like I've heard stories from different perspectives of people who were in the room with him, who were close to him, who
mm-hmm,
the artists that he worked with didn't even know these things about him, right? Like
right,
there's certain things that like most people don't know that Fat John had a studio in the same building right down the hall from him,
yeah,
right? And that he would go and listen to John's stuff and then go back to his studio and make beats.
yeah,
So like you don't hear that stuff, and I think that it's like like legends always get built up
yeah,
until people know the details about it, and then you can trace it back to like facts and truth.
mm-hmm,
And the fact and the truth of it is that he was influenced by a lot of people,
yeah,
and that he influenced a lot of people later on. But no person is just in a vacuum. Nobody's just autonomous, right? They
mm,
come from someplace and they have influences
absolutely,
that create them and make their origin unique
mm-hmm,
to them. But then they go on to influence other people. But he wasn't some monolith where he
mm-hmm,
was influencing himself. He didn't create
right.
himself. Right?
No
He
one
was
is.
created by his influences,
Mm-hmm,
and those influences were black artists around him,
mm-hmm.
black artists from all around the world, for whether it was his
The jazz he was
spiritual
sampling.
jazz records that he was
Mm-hmm,
sampling, the Brazilian music, like Fat John, other rappers and artists like DL,
yeah.
so like
One of the biggest I'm
yeah,
sorry to
no,
cut you
I
off.
just I like not being black myself. I feel it's like necessary to put it out there that like Nujabes, although an amazing artist and
Mm-hmm,
taking nothing away from him at all, he's not like this untouchable thing where he created an entire genre. Like,
right.
and he didn't create
And if he
whatever
were
you want to call it
alive,
as far as lo-fi,
and if he
right?
were alive, he'd tell you this.
Right. He I can't speak to that, but I know that
Yeah.
he didn't create lo-fi,
Yeah.
and a lot of people think that, and there's a lot of misconstrued, and people on here.
Mm-hmm,
I'm preaching to the choir, I feel like, but at the same time, like just for posterity, like it, there is a like narrative going around that he, created lo-fi. He's the godfather of lo-fi hip hop, all this stuff,
mm-hmm.
and it's just false. Like it's not. There's no truth to it. Like he created an environment of things like Samurai Champloo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But who else was on there?
Right. Yeah. And yeah, man, like what you should be mindful of, right? Last thing we'll say this, and like because this is turning into like something that this session really wasn't supposed to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
So we got to get back on schedule because we're gonna talk about Hive's new record. We're gonna talk about Millen's new record, and then answer questions Bob Alloy related. We're also, if time permitting, we'll do a breakdown of the "You Don't Have No Idea" video. Give y'all some like inside baseball of that. But the last thing I will say, a couple different things. Number one of the things I think does not get spoke on enough is like people clearly have like a thing when it comes to Asian culture, right? Similar to like folks who love black culture but don't love black people. I think with Asian culture it's a little bit different where like they love Asian culture and stuff, and maybe they like Asian people, but like or maybe in their mind they think they love Asian people, but like some of the actions are a bit exploitative, right, to say the least. And so the reason why this is relevant is I'll never forget talking to Shingo, and a writer that he was speaking to was trying to compare Dilla's legacy and Nujabes's legacy. And one of the things he was talking about was, how well he feels like things have been handled with Nujabes's legacy in comparison to Dilla's, right? And he starts to talk about the messiness and the like all of the different things, and even like all of this other stuff, which is it's kind of like falls into the like Asian people in the model minority trope, right? Like, oh, look at how well behaved they are over here, but then look at all these black folks over here, which is crazy hearing that. Like, and I love the fact that Shingo checked the guy in real time. It was like, yo, just because you don't hear about any drama about this stuff doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And as someone who's been a part of the drama behind the scenes, we just ain't sharing the stuff in public with y'all. But it's there. It's there. We just don't speak on it. That's one.
You guys are nice people and you're professional.
Yeah, and that's it. And these nice slash professional people I'm talking about, of these people, only some of them are Japanese, right? A good amount of us who work with them are black. But it makes the point of what I'm saying because of how people view like Asian culture and like and in particular Japanese culture within Asian culture, right? And how that's viewed. That's a whole other conversation, right? You know, like even when we talk about like cuisine, right? Like how people view like Japanese food versus Chinese food, right? Like how one's high quality, the other not so much. So there's all of these different things, and I see people try to do the same thing with like Japanese hip hop, right? Like versus traditional, what most would consider like more traditional hip hop or more mainstream. And it's just without acknowledging that even that stuff that you're talking about is largely influenced by black artists. But these are black artists, from the folks he sampled to the artists he worked with, who largely aren't known by everybody. We weren't mainstream. So it's just like, it's easy to kind of tuck us up under the rug, like from the folks he sampled to the folks that work with him, and act like we didn't have as big a contribution as we did, and make the conversation about the person who can't speak for themselves. In other words, who can't control the narrative. So if you're a person with resources, money, and enough reach, like in terms of your marketing and stuff like that, you can create a narrative, right? Like based on things you've heard that you weren't physically there for, and make it into what you want to do, what you want it to be. And so just, you know, just wanting everybody to be very mindful of that, man. And whenever you can get it from the source, do that. And the reason why I stay open to these conversations and don't shy away from it is mostly because I know that if we, like, some of the artists who work with them have no interest in being in these conversations, because at this point it's taken away from their art. It's to the point where people, like, for example, we were here to talk about Bob Alloy, right, and Javier and Millen, and now we're talking about this. But it's necessary, right, because we got to educate folks so they know. So this isn't a shot at you for bringing it up, fam. It's just more of a it's just more
platform.
Yeah, yeah.
To address some stuff that doesn't get addressed ever, because it's mostly people who don't know
who
the
don't know.
situation.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's innocent, and then there are times where people are literally just trying to exploit it, right? And so yeah, man. So I don't want anybody to feel away. I don't want you to feel like you can't ever ask me about it, because I'm down to speak on it, as long as you know that, like, yo, my life and career at this point, like, I do not exist solely to honor this brother's memory. And as I say and state all the time, he is one of a lot of artists that I've worked with, that I loved, right, that inspired me and that helped me in my journey, who's died. He's not the only one. You know what I mean? He's just the one that you know, right? Like, people don't come on here talking to me about Pumpkinhead, and I spent way more time with Pumpkinhead, way more time with PH, and PH was a legend, to the point that when he died, Rolling Stone covered his death, right? But, you know what I mean? But we're not having that conversation over here, because most of y'all associate me with Nujabes. And again, even then, people aren't coming over here talking to me about Dextream all the time, because, you know, like, regardless of how big of a role Dextream is crazy. That's definitely a cue to wrap it up, B. Dextream is great.
Yo,
wrap that shit up, B. But people don't.
Slip.
Yeah, terrible, bro. But yeah, Dextream don't get enough love, man. Dextream, like, that needs to be a shirt right there, for real, man. Like, put more respect on Dextream name.
You know,
wrap it up.
In the spirit of wrapping it up, like,
wrap that shit up, B.
When I first, before I came out to Japan in 2008, when we were doing the album, Nujabes was still alive. The material that I got sent by Tsune, our manager back in the day.
Yep.
Yours more than mine, but he sent over a bunch of Dextream stuff, right? So, like, the collabs that you had just done with him.
Yep.
And then his older stuff. And nobody knew him by Monarisic. Because the name was taken. So
right. How was the name taken? This is important history right here.
So, yeah, I mean, Nujabes, him had a fight. And basically, Nujabes used the nuclear option and was like, "Yeah, well, I own the name. I own your name. I own you. I own Monaristic. So
So
if
he
you
had
want to
to,
keep making music, then you need to use a different name." So
yeah.
so Monaristic switched his name to DJ Dextream, and he had another name after that. So it's not like he was necessarily attached to one moniker or anything.
Yeah, he was producing under, was it at least?
Razel.
Yeah. So three different
Rose.
aliases at some point.
Yeah, and he might have had more, but
Right.
like at the same time,
And was very successful in spite of having
Very
to do
successful.
that. Like he was producing a lot of big records. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So like I was a huge fan of his stuff too.
Yeah.
And I'm
Life is
always thinking about him and his production and his contribution to the scene, because obviously if he was in the same room during your album making those beats, making those decisions, like he also was extremely important to the foundation and the fabric of this scene that people associate you and also me with. So DJ Dextream was also an amazing producer. If this is the first time you're hearing his name,
Definitely look it up.
Check out his stuff. Life is Good featuring Mos Def is
Woo!
one of our
Personal favorite.
one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time. Like possibly.
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that like your boy got to be on the B side of that single is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It was like, if I knew I was gonna be on that, I might have did a different song. Anyway, let's keep it pushing. Shout out to everyone. The guy was pointing out that he's not a native speaker. So, and then Steph also pointed out, thank you, because this clears up a lot. She said that spell check will change it to Bob oftentimes. That is,
there you go.
yeah, because she's done, did that to her. I run on fast, sorry.
Thank you. No, thank you. No,
And it's not rude at all, man.
Thank you for the info.
Yeah.
I've been wondering, and now I don't have to wonder anymore because I got it from the source.
7-11 you. Yo, you wild. This is Hive. Marcus D, I want to see you collaborate with Jared Evans one day. His singing and rapping would mesh well with your production.
I'm not hip to him, but
gotta look him up now.
Check him out.
Substantial times Static Selector. I want to hear you on some static beats. I can see that. You know what I mean? He makes some joints every now and then. Matter of fact, fun fact, I was just talking about Pumpkinhead. You can actually hear me on a Static Selector beat, if I'm not mistaken. It was a song on one of Pumpkinhead's last albums with me, Blitz, and GMS. I can't remember what it's called. Never Have. That's what it's called. The chorus like, my click been better. Click been never. Shit been better. Go hard wherever we go. Trying to dine on my dinners out of line. Little nigga, I was something that I know. I probably curse more in this hook than I have in whole songs, but it's a banger. It's called Never Have with PH, Blitz, Substantial, GMS. And that's me rapping on a Static Selector beat, but I just do the chorus though. I forget sometimes, man. I've done a lot of music.
I did a track with Static.
Yeah, he sampled you, right?
Yeah.
The joint that IDK did. Super dope. All right. If we missed a question,
There was one back up there.
oh, okay, hold up. Going back. Where you see it? Oh, right here. Most Steps has a song with Dextream called Life is Good. We were just talking about it, and it kind of sounds like you and Blessing it. Did you possibly have influence on him? I wouldn't say that I had influence on Most Def. You know what I mean? Most Def, when I met him, this is the dap Most Def gave me. Hold up. This is when he gave me the joint, and I tried to come in, and then he hit me with the... Hey, bro.
I think it's because of the rocking it.
Yeah, the rocking it joint.
But that's a hip hop.
Yeah, that's a common hip hop thing. You know what I mean? So like Blessing it, when we did it, and see, this is the importance of like listening to like some of the older stuff, even if it ain't your cup of tea, because you'll see how much of the modern stuff pulls from the older joint. So like, must be rocking it, you should keep rocking it. Something like, yeah, because the
whole world rocking it, you should be rocking it.
Yeah,
no stopping it.
Because that's where Pace, he didn't take it from that song, but both Mos Def and Pace Rock took that from an old school rap song. You see what I'm saying? So just like, so he just changed the words rocking it to blessing it. You see what I'm saying? And then Mos Def just said it the way it was originally sang. Like for example, in Save the Day, where I'm like bounce, slide, roll, escape, right? Like that's based on an old school joint where they say something different, but like, but it's like, it's the same. It's I think it's bounce rock, something, bounce rock, roll, escape, or something like that. But that's from an old school joint. You know what I mean? That's why whenever we say it live, I do it like with an old school sounding voice. It's me paying homage. You know what I mean? Yo, what's up, Substantial? The new album is fire. Do you have any album recommendations? This is a good time to pivot. One, I would say check out Blue and Exile's new joint, since we were just mentioning that. But let's get into some recommendations right now from our boy who is here in the building, my man DJ Hav. I'm not DJ Hav, Javier Starks. I be mixing up my Javiers, man. Shout out to DJ Hav, but we're about to shine some light on our boy Javier Starks right about nowish.
Whenever you say Hav, I always have to ask,
which Hav are we referring to? All right, so I'm gonna put this on the screen right now, and then let's change this background real quick. You know, gotta make sure the production value is always pristine. All right. So, yo, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to play Javier Stark's new single. All right. It is called The Boy Savior, and it is produced by Marcus D. Also features me on the chorus. This is available for streaming right now. This is the first of several new songs that Jav's about to drop, and it's the first single from his upcoming EP. So hashtag my friends are dope. You know, I always take time to try to celebrate the great music that my friends are making. So check this joint out. I hope y'all enjoy it. Let's zoom in a little bit. Boop, bap. See how that looks. Still good. All right, cool. So let's play this, and y'all let me know how y'all feel. And you can stream this right now. Just dropped today.
Went from a young boy they couldn't save, that finally grew, end up saving the day. But the struggle continues, it don't stop. Underground child fights the man up top. Went from a young boy they couldn't save, that finally grew, end up saving the day. But the struggle continues, it don't stop. Underground child fights the man up top.
My hands be small, but I'm mighty. Palms full of lightning. Fatherless prodigy, hypocrisy ignites me. Set my soul ablaze, cold gaze. Young, but I'm fighting for freedom, my foes afraid. I spy with my little eye, quite a come up. Ride from the rich, give to the poor. Wood, they ain't trying to help me, and I'm trying to build stuff. So ride from the rich, give to the poor, yeah. Poet's me, but not woe is me. I let go of grief and push forth to see the hope like ovaries glow. Turn like rotary, coated be. Still I survive in one piece like Oda. Sheesh. I wrestle with the struggle like OMG. Silk coat got a chokehold on the streets. Indeed, they forced my hand, their hearts full of greed, eyes hella green like Yoda.
From a young boy they couldn't save, that finally grew, end up saving the day. But the struggle continues, it don't stop. Underground child fights the man up top. Went from a young boy they couldn't save, that finally grew, end up saving the day. But the struggle continues, it don't stop. Underground child fights the man up top.
Echo, the one they should depend on, and they don't even know it yet. Solo possibilities, yoga, they only stretch. I stay down, word dog with no regrets. Chump switched on me like a jump shot, it's only net. Barely 14, but this boy seen more screams than doctors operating without morphine, and it changed me. Maturing at God's speed, if you cross me, you lost me, no matter what it cost me. Vibe disappeared and it all went wrong, honestly. Jinx was forged in the mental cacophony. Vanda and Benzo both died in the end, so watching over my posse should probably be my top policy. Get my hands on some hex tech properly. Mind boggling the way ain't nobody that's stopping me. It's just me against the world, go to war for my neighbors. Echo, the boy savior.
From a young boy they couldn't save, that finally grew, end up saving the day. But the struggle continues, it don't stop. Underground child fights the man up top. Went from a young boy they couldn't save. That finally grew, end up saving the day. But the struggle continues, it don't stop. Underground child fights the man up top. Went from a young boy they couldn't save.
I'm still fighting, y'all.
End up saving the day.
I'm still fighting, y'all.
Continues, it don't stop.
I'm still fighting, y'all.
Child fights the man up top.
I'm still fighting.
From a young boy they couldn't save.
I'm still fighting, y'all.
End up saving the day.
I'm still fighting, y'all.
Continues, it don't stop.
I'm still fighting, y'all. 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 I'm still fighting.
Go on, yeah. Ha. Join us fire. Look at that applause. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, man. Yo, listen. Go stream that. Cop that right now. Pre-orders for the EP will be up soon. Super shout out to Javier Starks. The project is called The Boy Savior. This is the first single. Next single's dropping next week and stuff. Whole thing's produced by Marcus D. Features not only me, but we also have Toasty Marshmallow on there. Amazing singer, does a lot of work in the anime space. And then we also have Maglo, who's a part of our community here, but an amazing artist. Like, you know, y'all know how I feel about Kokai. That's how I feel about Maglo. You know what I'm saying? Like, top tier artist. Also on the record, Shiori is on the record, who's sang on like a lot of notable anime and done songs that y'all have heard. That DJ Vega as well cuts on the intro. But yo, congrats to Hav on the new release. Definitely check out the joint. There's way more coming. And if y'all aren't following him already, you know, you see the account with the yellow icon, that's him. Hav, I don't know if you realize this, but every time you went to type boy, you put broy. I don't I don't know. But everyone stop what you're doing right now to say hi to my sister Stacy. Hi Stacy. Love you. Thanks for watching. And super duper shout out. Like right now, because you know, like I'm out here working and doing the music and stuff like that. I missed something really important and stuff. My wife did her capstone today. Did her presentation. She's been prepping for it for weeks. I got to read and help her with her presentation, and then my phone's been blowing up and stuff. Everyone's celebrating her. Congratulations to the missus. If she's watching this, man, super proud of you. Go ahead, get our. I keep messing with her. I was like, it's our degree. You know, congratulations on securing our degree. but yo, super proud of you. Let's get to some of these comments. And make sure you're following Hive. Hive, drop your links in there, and y'all make sure y'all stream the hell out of the song, man. Run it up.
Run it up.
Yes, indeed.
Running it up. I'm gonna take a break here.
All right, cool, man.
Call me back, or
yes,
if
sir.
Got any questions?
Will do.
I'll be off
Will
camera
do.
and doing some work.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Marcus for dropping in on the show. You know what I mean? Let's see. Peace, bro. But yeah, let's get to some of these comments. Very nice try. The Boy Savior, a name that should be studied for real. So look, yo, just to give y'all the theme of the project, I know Hav's not here to explain it to y'all, but I will do my best. If you've ever I'm your 10th sub, Hav. That's what's up. Yeah, man. But yo, if you've never seen the show Arcane, highly recommend that you check it out. It's really dope for those of you fans of League of Legends. You know, it's really dope, and like the Boy Savior is how they refer to the character Echo on the show. When I first saw the show, I hit up Hive and was like, bro, have you seen this show? If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. 1, 2, bro, like if you ever consider cosplaying, you should cosplay as this character, because the character looks exactly like Hav. Like it looks like a slightly younger version of Javier Starks. You know, and he literally rides like this hoverboard joint, and Hav is known for like you know, skateboarding at one point in time, and then eventually one wheeling, and now he's riding like e-bikes and all of this other cool technology. So like So Hav basically on this project raps from the point of view of Echo throughout the record. He's telling the story of Echo over music. And so, yo, it's a dope project that Marcus D produced top to bottom, and it's mixed and mastered by Tone Deaf. You know what I mean? So definitely stream that. Check it out. If you haven't already. All right. Now, we are also celebrating the release of some new music from the homie MLLN. MLLN has been dropping a few different covers, which are all fire. And today he just dropped he dropped a cover of Folded. I forget how you say her name. Is it Kalani or something? I think it's Kalani, how you say her name. She's a really popular artist and stuff. And so like not Marcus, but MLLN's been doing these different covers. So he has a cover of Folded, and then he has a cover of Just Friends. You can stream those right now. So we're going to celebrate both of these artists, because both of these artists are artists that not only I've collaborated with, but me and my company, Substantial Art Music, along with my wife, Rochelle, we actually manage both Javier and MLLN. So I wanted to take some time to highlight our really, really dope friends and their amazing tunes. So let's fix something real quick. Let me do that. All right, cool. Let's hear some more songs, and sorry for all the chair sounds as we're trying to get this stuff together. Cool. Let's do this. All right, so we're going to listen to the new joint from MLLN right now. Y'all let me know what you think. Enjoy, and I will switch this camera angle. Hold up.
Come pick up your clothes.
Both songs produced by MLLN.
Have them folded. Meet me at the door while it's still open. I know it's getting cold out. It's not frozen. So come pick up your clothes. I'll have them folded. Yeah. It's so silly of me to act like I don't need you back. But no, all I can think about is since I seen you last. I know I didn't have to walk away. All I had to do was ask for space. I'm telling you, be on your way. When I told you to fall back, so can you come pick up your clothes? I'll have them folded. Meet me at the door while it's still open. I know it's getting cold out. It's not frozen. So come pick up your clothes. I'll have them folded. I'll let your body decide if this is good enough for you. Already folded it for you. Already folded it for you. I'll let your body decide if this is good enough for you. Already folded it for you. Already folded it. No matter what you do to search the story up, I know I made my mark. And I would still choose you through it all. That's the crazy part. Crazy part. I don't need no empty promises. Promise me that you got it. I don't need roses, just need some flowers from my garden. Can you go back to how you loved on me when you started? I'll be here begging for you. You should be giving me love all damn day till the day is done. So if you wanna go that way, I'll be waiting up for you to come pick up your clothes. I'll have them folded. Meet me at the door while it's
out to Millen, man. That cover is fire. This is his cover of Just Friends by Music Soul Child, which is the second song he's singing. You know.
We can hook up, hang out, just chill. Girl, I know it might seem strange. Let me know if I'm out of order for stepping to you this way. See, I've been watching you for a while. I've just gotta let you know that I'm really feeling your style. Cause I have to know your name and leave you with my number. Cause I hope that you would call me someday. And if you want, you can give me yours too. If you don't, well, I ain't mad at you. We can still be cool, said I'm not trying to pressure you. Just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, just chill. La do 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 day, da da do do day, da da do do day. La da da do do, la da da do. We dee da da do do day da da, lady da da. Do 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 we dee da da do day. La do 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 do, and I was like, damn. Cause the way you walked away, thought I wasn't gonna see you no more. And if you didn't wanna give me a name, I thought that you was digging me and wasn't digging me. What you doing tonight? I'll probably be with my peeps. If it's cool with you, maybe we'll swing by. You can just chill with us, or you can just chill with me. Long as you're comfortable, you feel secure when you're with me. I'm not trying to pressure you, just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, just chill. I'm not trying to pressure you. Oh, you ain't even really. Oh, I just wanna know. We can hook up, hang out, we can just chill, no.
Super shout out to Millen, man. Love that brother's cover. About to play Little Sims. Never mad at that. You know what I mean? I'm a super Little Sims fan, but you know, I'm already getting flagged for all the homies music. I don't need to be getting flagged for like some of these bigger artists' music. So anyway, yo, super shout out to Millen. Make sure you check out his music streaming everywhere. Super shout out to Javier Starks and his new single, which is fire as well. Produced by Marcus D. The song's called "The Boy Savior." Boy Savior. How I was making fun of me before, didn't realize it because apparently I said "broy" instead of "boy." I don't know. I'm tired. Super shout out to my niece Morgan, who's in the house. What up, Morgan? So yeah, as promised, what I'm gonna do next is we're gonna play the final video, final version of the video for "You Don't Have No Idea," which is now streaming on the Bop Alloy YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed or followed Bop Alloy on social media, make sure you're doing that. We're on YouTube. We're on Of course, Facebook, IG, and Threads. So make sure you're following us on social media as well. But right now, going to do a breakdown of the video, go through it shot by shot. How y'all want to do it? You want me to just play the video first? And then after we play the video, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just play the video. You know what I mean? For those of you who haven't seen it yet. And then after we play the video, we'll go through it shot by shot. And then when we're done with that, we're done for the day. High five for Jesus. Let the church say amen. Amen. Okay. By the way, the old saying goes, you have not because you ask not. So if you haven't donated to the show today, or in general, feel free to do so. It's never mandatory, but it's always appreciated. Plus, you help keep me and mine off these poles. And nobody needs that. Nobody needs to see that. You know what I'm saying? There's literally poles right next to me, and I want nothing to do with them. You understand? And Marcus don't want to see that either. So the way to help prevent that, you know what I mean? The way to prevent forest fires, you know what I'm saying, is by making a donation. You can do so via the Super Chat, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo as well. And if you want to do it via Zelle, you can do it through info@subartmusic.com. All right. Again, never mandatory, always appreciated. I'll leave that at the bottom for those who choose to do it. It's greatly appreciated. It's how we keep the lights on around here. You know what I mean? And any proceeds that get donated today will be split with my brother Marcus T. Oh. All right. So on that note, let's play the video. All right. So we're gonna play the video, and after that, we're gonna go through.
He's not gonna play the video until you guys donate $100.
Yeah. Marcus said, don't play it until they donate 100. All right. So I'm about to play it. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe because it's Bandcamp Friday, by the way. Maybe because it's Bandcamp Friday, y'all have supported in that way. You know what I'm saying? Forever the optimist, you know? All right, here we go. Let's play this video. So this is the official music video for You Don't Have No Idea. Hopefully most of y'all have seen it, but for those who haven't, here you go. Yeah. Yeah.
If I see a barricade, I'ma make a way. If I see a barricade, I'ma make a way.
10,000 hours, more like 30 or 40. I was using my powers back when I was just a shorty. I ain't talking about teens, my God, this before double digits. Selling my art for green while the brownies were moving thin mints. Dos and Samoas, the homies pressed me to tag along. Scheming chose my own hustle, knew they couldn't do that for long. Loan my unk and bro paper while still in elementary. Only hustle I knew that don't fill up the penitentiaries. Well, not yet. I was still new to the process. Big little dude with a heart consumed by the art, but it ain't my time yet. Cousin would help me get nice, but then it got blocked. I'm still making progress. Minimal guidance, you know the block ain't filled with no expert artists. Mostly 9-to-5ers and baby mamas, a couple fathers. Hustlers and riders surrounded by fiends just like piranhas. Blood in the water mixed with tears and sweat, but I stayed afloat. Most get led to the slaughter, I guess I'm just a different kind of goat. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to stand where I stand. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to master my plan. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to stand where I stand. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to master my plan. While me and my peers were catching contact, I was busy with contracts. Went from a fan to brand and then starting to see the contrast. Built a biz for my knees with no callbacks that came from one ass. Work always on my mind, so I go to sleep with my hard hat. Turn the dreams into workflow while these part-time folks got furloughed. What they put down, I pick it up quick and then I double my workload. Ergo, I always been thorough with a key to the Far East DMV, then back up to the 5 boroughs. No sleep in the stool for weeks, little food to eat, but see how the world know. Work ethic second to none, the best that they come. Never regret that I get more respect than I'm selling, but still feel blessed like I won. Used to be sleeping no floors when they hit they ceiling. For me, the sky was the limit. Couldn't disguise their limits, but I kept flowing upstream to crime be rivers. I was designed for winning, took her to places that some were inclined to visit. Even though time is ticking, still making time to shit run a mile a minute. And get my mama the house, but I still made her proud, cause she loving how I'm living. Don't need a clown opinion who witnessed your light and now they trying to dim it. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't
don't have no idea what it took to stand where I stand. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to master my plan. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to stand where I stand. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to master our plan.
So if I see a barricade, I'ma make a way.
Yeah, son. Yeah, man. Really, really, really proud of how that joint came out, man. So real quick, what we'll do, we're gonna run it back. This time doing a breakdown of it. Just kind of breaking down like where we were when we shot what. It's obvious for certain things, but maybe not so obvious for others. And giving you some background, kind of like what I did earlier when Early brought up one shot in particular. Beat it so hard. Marcus did that. Absolutely. That boy good. That boy good. The background effect in the sky was fire. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to get into all of that. All right. So let's decide what angle we're going to do. I think we'll do that. All right. Thank you. So right now we're gonna run it back. Go ahead. Got my Bop Alloy cap ready. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. You know how that. Okay, cool. We good. Now we gonna run it back. All right. By the way, you can order merch and stuff from like bopalloy.com. Today's a good day to do it via Bandcamp because it's Bandcamp Fridays where all the proceeds go to the artists. Instead of Bandcamp taking their cut. The hats, I just realized hats aren't up there yet, so we do need to add those, but they will be added eventually. All right, so let's run this video back and break it down. Okay. Yeah. So out the gate, right, like that, the opening shot. This is one of the only shots in the video. There's maybe like I want to say maybe 5 shots or less in the video, which were just stock footage, right? And so this is one of those shots. But I decided to use this based on other shots and stuff, in the whole concept of like verse 1 being like daytime, and then second verse being nighttime. So this is kind of like the day is starting, right? Kind of carrying on from like day in the life of, right? So yeah, and another thing, man, shout out to Tone Deaf, right? Like if it wasn't for Tone Deaf, this You Don't Have No Idea font right here, which you see throughout the video, we likely wouldn't have that, because Tone was the one that suggested to maybe have the lyrics pop up in different places. And so me being the psychopath that I am when it comes to fonts and all things graphic design, I probably lost like 2 days just trying to find the right text. And I eventually came across this font because it looked like handwritten and stuff, and it looked like it was like painted onto something as opposed to just like a super clean font like the font above it. You know what I mean? So yeah, just some context for that. Let's keep it going. Yeah. We're gonna back it up because that's the first time you see the shot of us on the roof. This shot here, right? This fun fact about this video, 90% of what you're seeing in this video was shot on this cell phone, right? It was shot on this. Shout out to all the Android/Galaxy, the Samsung Galaxy haters out there. This video, and you're looking at it and you're like, oh my God, it looks so good. It's amazing. It's so good, so good. Shout out to Samsung. Shout out to the Galaxy. It was shot on a Galaxy 24. Most of this. There are maybe 2 shots in the whole thing that are that I shot that are shot using a GoPro, but most of this was shot on the Samsung. If you ever want tips on how to shoot like a music video with your phone and to make it look like really good, hit me up. We could talk about it in one of these lives. Now, the other thing about this too is in terms of the color treatment, like how I wanted to like edit the colors for the video. I wanted it to kind of have like Wes Anderson feel, like in terms of like playing with the colors. Most of the color scheme that I'm rocking on tour, there's always some blue in the scheme because I always got like a blue jacket on. Orange is my favorite color. So a lot of times I'll find a way to throw orange in the outfit in some way, shape, or form. In this case, it was a hat. It's also in my sneakers and stuff like that. But then another outfit I'm wearing a blue shirt in one scene that has like orange writing on the chest, but you barely see that. But I still got the orange hat on, so it does that. So this shot here, I did the like I treated the colors on this particular shot first, and then every other shot that you see, like where the blues and the oranges are really vibrant, are based on what I captured in this shot. Whole video was edited in CapCut, not CapCut the version on your phone, but the full version that you can use on your laptop. All right, let's keep it going. Yeah, man, I appreciate all the love, yo. Thank y'all. Yes, and for those who don't know, I directed the video. Yeah. All right, this record store here, was it volume 30 or volume something in Italy? Yeah. All right, trying to confirm the name of this record store. Marcus in the background looking. Volume 33 is the name of this record store. This particular scene, that last scene, was shot in Spain. It was shot on the rooftop of our second hotel in Spain. And then this was shot in Italy, Montretondo. That's how you say the name. I know I'm probably don't sound as cool as when they say it, but that's the name of the city that we're in. It's about 45 minutes or so outside of Rome. All right. The guy you saw in the background on that last scene, that's Keith Middleton, or Keith Wildchild Middleton. If he looks vaguely familiar to any of y'all, if you've ever seen the Broadway play Stomp, he was a major part of Stomp. He was literally on the posters that used to be up around the world when they would tour the world. He's a major part of that that show, and then he's also a part of my crew, The Plague, aka MC Amai, out of New York and stuff. He happens to live in Italy now. So when me and Marcus went for our off days on our tour, we spent them in Italy with him and his wife Chiara. Shout out to Chiara. This shot right here of Marcus on the turntable, that was shot in Paris, France, in La Bellevoie, the venue that we performed at in Paris.
So if I see a barricade, I'ma make a way.
Another shot, this is in Spain, but again, you can see like how I'm playing with the colors and stuff like that, like the vibrant blues and stuff like that. You know, I love this shot too because it's like the background so beautiful and stuff, the perspective, all of that's a beautiful horizon shot. But then one of the things I love about Europe, if you look on the back of that sign, you can see like a graffiti piece on the back of the sign. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yo, you can't escape it. Hip hop everywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's keep it going. Shot on our plane, leaving Italy, flying into France. We're literally flying into France at this point in time. You know, getting ready for our second show on our European tour. This shot is also this is in Spain, same rooftop but a different part of the rooftop. This shot here is one of the only shots in the video. Yeah, it's the only shot in the video that was shot with my GoPro. All right. There was other footage that was caught on my GoPro, but most of the footage that worked the best was captured on my phone. All right. Hold on one second, y'all. My wife is calling in the middle of the live because apparently she has good news. So she don't know I'm about to put her on blast real quick. Everybody watching, say congratulations. Yeah, everybody say congratulations in the chat real quick, you know. And that's the little one with her. I'm still live. We're wrapping up, but, you know, I love you. I know. I didn't know she was going to be on camera, too, but I knew you was looking all polished last time I saw you. I'll be with y'all in 1 second. Hold out. But, yeah, I love you. Congratulations. I'll call you back. All right, bye. Listen, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that for everybody, but it's the wife. I got to do it. All right. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for showing the love. All right, back to the video. Here we go. We'll edit that part out, Marcus. All right, this shot right here is in Italy. Dope mosaic in the background. You know, if you've ever been to Italy or if you've ever studied any art history, you know there's amazing artwork all through Italy, different types of mediums. This was a really dope thing that we saw in the subway. And Kiara, shout out to her. She made the suggestion that we should film maybe like somewhere in the subway as we were getting ready to leave. So that's why we chose this particular area. And if I'm not mistaken, Marcus is holding the phone at this particular time.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, so Marcus captured this shot here. You know what I mean? So shout out to
director credit.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Executive producer Marcus D and camera. You know. This is Rennes, France. When we first flew into France, we landed in Rennes first, where we had our first show. So this is another phone shot.
10,000 hours, more like 30 or 40. I was using my powers back when I was just a short.
Yeah, love this right here, man. Again, another shot captured with my camera phone. Nice. Someone pointed out. One of the many Kevins pointed out. Shout out to Kevin Sabio, says that the mosaic reminds me of the cover for Adultish. That's actually really dope. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, man, this particular shot here, this is us on the train. We had to fly into France. We flew into Paris. I said we flew into Rennes, but we actually flew into Paris and then from Paris caught a train to Rennes. So this shot right here is of me on the train, filming myself while looking out the window. And then because it looks like I'm reflecting on that, I figured it was a great shot for like, you know, that line was like talking about like me hustling when I was a kid. So in this picture here, it's either first or second grade. Like, you know, I talk about like I was doing, you know, figuring out ways to make money, like even before I hit double digits as a kid. And so this is likely a picture from like, I think it's second grade, but it might be first. All right. But yeah, man, out here with the, what's that, tweet? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Little, I can't tell if it's a tweet joint or got the little, you know what I'm saying? Your boy was doing a lot and still make that face. Pretty much guilty as charged. Yes, indeed. All right. Keep it going.
I ain't talking about teens, my God, this before double dip.
So we're going to pause it right there. This picture that you see in the background, this is my class picture from second grade. Or first grade, actually. This is my class picture from first grade. I'm going to blow it up so y'all can see it a little better. The teacher that's on the far left, shout out to Mrs. Hall, man. Mrs. Hall was my favorite elementary school teacher. But this is probably like right before I start to kind of, like this is maybe my last year of not really knowing about money and how to make my own money. You know, and so yeah, man, it's a class shot. And if you look up here at the top where there's a tag that says substantial, right under it, you'll see like one taller black boy standing next to me, and then right next to the tall kid that's at the top right corner, I'm one over next to him. That's me. You know what I mean? So all right.
Selling my art.
Shout out to our promoter, one of our promoters. This is Tony, who is a part of Monochromo, right? No. Huh? Yeah. Monochromo out of Spain. They were really dope promoters. They like, yo, it was great working with them. Like, super shout out to them. So, you know, quick cameo from him.
For green while the brownies were moving thin mints.
This whole section is my youngest daughter's favorite part of the song. You know what I mean? Because she's a brownie, so, you know.
And Samoa's the homies pressed me to tag along. Scheming chose my own hustle, knew
that's backstage at the club in Spain.
They couldn't do that for long. Loan my uncle and bro paper while still in elementary. Only hustle I knew that don't fill up the penitentiary.
Love that shot of the prison spinning. Of the prison cell spinning. So that was actually like footage that was stock footage that I found. But I love that shot because although I'm sure that Ryan Coogler wasn't the first person to do that shot, he's the one that kind of popularized that shot in modern times. So when you think of Black Panther, the first Black Panther movie, after Killmonger takes over, when they go into the throne room in Wakanda, when they come into the room, like the shot is upside down at first. Their whole world has been turned upside down because he's killed the king. So the shot's upside down and then spins like, you know, into regular view. So this was inspired by that, you know. When I say only hustle, I knew that don't fill up the penitentiaries, right? Like, you know, people I grew up with having their lives turned upside down, whether it's the person who went to prison or the family of the person who went to prison.
Well, not yet. I'm still new to the process. Big little dude with a heart consumed by the art, but it ain't my time yet. Cousin would help me get nice, but then it got blocked. I'm still making progress. Minimal guidance, you know the block ain't filled with no expert artists. Mostly 9 to 5s and baby mamas, a couple fathers, hustlers.
So all of these shots that you see here, it's all stock footage with the exception of the shot of T. Lucas, who I'm looking in the direction of. That was pulled from the video for the New Balance. You know, so fun little Easter egg there. Man, thank you, McCollins. I appreciate that. A lot of geometric shots in this video. Yeah, definitely, man. The graphic designer in me is always seeing things as shapes. You know, not just as like people and buildings and stuff like that. I'm seeing the shapes in it. So that's just always how my eye is kind of viewing things, you know.
Surrounded by
this shot right here that you see of an audience, that's actually when we came out for the very first song of our set in Paris. So, you know, and so surrounded by fiends just like piranhas, right? Like referring to the fans as fiends, you know. Says, is there a thought process behind the concept of geometry? Yeah, like in this particular video, like it really wasn't anything where it was just like, nah, I want these angles and stuff like that. You know, when I think of Wes Anderson and stuff like that, how he has these shots with the subject perfectly centered a lot of times, and like, you know, with the background kind of balanced a particular way, playing with some angles sometimes, but most of his shots are straightforward. A lot of those straightforward shots is me kind of playing on that. You know what I mean? So that's some of the thought process behind it. But like when you see shots like this where I'm playing with the angles and we're not perfectly centered and stuff like that, it's because I was intentionally trying to just break that up, because I didn't want everything to be like me perfectly in the middle rapping. So, you know, try to keep that in mind whenever possible, you know what I mean, just to kind of break up some of the monotony, right?
Means just like piranhas, blood in the water mixed with tears and sweat, but I stayed.
So this was a last minute edition. Y'all have seen rough versions of this for those of you who watch the show on a regular basis. So I found this thing like I was looking for like something that maybe showed like something that looked like blood dropping in the water. I couldn't find something that was perfect, but I found this thing where it was dropping red ink like on this paper and watching it absorb into it. They kind of created a similar effect, and so I really loved that and decided to add that in there, you know. And then also breaking from the monotony of like the text being mostly like 1 or 2 colors, and then switching it up and making it red.
Piranhas, blood in the water mixed with tears and sweat, but I stayed afloat.
Yeah, you know.
Both get led to the slaughter. I guess I'm just a different kind of goat.
My homeboy who hates everything or hates a lot of things, when I shared the video and stuff, he gave it a heart emoji and then put goat. You know, and I was like, you know, with him, he never just kind of outright says if he likes something or hates something or whatever. He's just kind of like, he'll lay something out there and just wait to see how you're going to respond. If Kevin Early's here, you know who I'm talking about, you know what I mean, because you were in that group chat. All right. But I'm assuming he liked it because he hearted the video first and then he said what he said.
You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to stand where I stand. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to master my plan. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea.
This shot here, Marcus D in the vid, like they got the Stonehenge joint. Post it up. Marcus speaks with his hands. You know what I'm saying? You saw him cutting in the beginning. You know what I mean? He's like, rest up.
Me and Premier, we kind of the same in ways. We both speak with our hands
In dangerous ways. Nice. You know what I mean? Royce the 5'9" quote. You know what I mean? That's on brand for Marcus. It says, are you going to do a music video for Last Song I'll Ever Write? You are the second person this week to ask that. So maybe that's the video we shoot before I leave. You know, so we did talk about shooting another video before I left. We got one video that's mostly shot, but is not finished. So we're trying to get that done. That's for one prize. And then we could possibly, if it isn't Last Song I'll Ever Write, it might be another joint. But yeah, definitely a song I think worth doing. I just know it's going to be hard, kind of like, you know, thinking through everything I want to capture and how emotional like it's going to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, we'll brainstorm and get back to you. But back to this. That shot right there. Let's make it bigger. Slow it down. I just dissed you. This shot right here is this is not a drone. Not a drone. This is not a stock footage joint. This is actually shot with my phone. Best I could get it like at night and stuff. It's not perfect, but like, man, it was super dope. Like the moon was shining through at one point, and then I noticed, I looked up and it went away, but I kept seeing the clouds like kind of go like past. And I was like, man, if I can capture a shot of the moon, right, just like of the clouds, you know, moving as the moon just comes out, that would be a fire transition from going from the day shots to the night shots. And when I caught it, you know, a shout out to Wild Child. He was hating on my phone the whole trip. He was hating on my phone.
Hating is an understatement.
Yeah, hating's an understatement. He's like, stupid ass phone. What did he say? Raggedy ass phone.
Yeah, raggedy ass phone.
Yeah, man. But nah, this shot was crazy. Yeah, another person said, yeah, Last Song I'll Ever Write. So we got 3 votes for that one.
You don't have no idea what it took to stand where I stand. You don't have no idea. You don't have.
Going back to that Coliseum shot, this is another moment where, like, we didn't plan that because where the phone is set up, it's set like near this fence and stuff. And so people walking by can't actually see that there's a camera pointing at us. And initially, Kiara was saying that she could go on the side and tell people not to walk through. And then I told her, I was like, nah, just let it be. It might make for some interesting things, what I like to call happy accidents. So that's what we decided to do. All right.
Stand where I stand. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to master my plan. My peers will catch a con.
Now, hold on, going back. So this right here, when shout out to Dimitri Max, when he saw this, that's the director of the Salt and Pepper video. He actually thought that this was shot at nighttime. This was the same shots of me on the roof, which were shot during the day, and then I put some effects on it to make it look like it was nighttime. And when I say I put effects on it, I didn't use a filter that automatically makes it look like night. I manually went in and did it step by step to kind of make it look like the sun was setting and it was starting to get dark. After I did that, I found a shot that I didn't take of like one of those shots where the sky is kind of like spinning and you see the stars moving and all of that. Like Earth is actually moving, and so the stars look like it. You know, doing that. It's like what do they call those shots?
Time lapse.
Time lapse. Thank you, sir. So it's a time lapse shot. Time lapse shot of the night sky. So I took that, put it here, and then I zoomed in so that way the stars appeared bigger. There's actually a moment where you see a falling star, right, which was crazy. And it happens to be when I say the furlough line, like basically like, you know, not people being laid off, but like close to it. You know what I mean?
Catching contact, I was busy.
I also thought it was cool that the contact line pops up like when the space is showing. You know what I mean?
With contracts, went from a fan to brand, and then starting to see the contrast. Built the biz for my knees with no callbacks that came from one ass. Work always on my mind, so I go to sleep with my heart hat. Turn a dream.
We never not laugh when that part comes up, you know? It's like, man, we had, like, I was looking at the footage, and then we saw that, you know, and Marcus knows, like, there was, I was hesitant to put it in, I was hesitant to put it. It's hilarious to us, but I was just like, because there's a small percentage of the fan base who like sometimes get sensitive about like the lyrics of certain things and stuff like that. But anybody who knows me personally or has been to my shows know that even though I don't curse a lot on record, if you spend enough time with me, you'll realize I curse a lot in person. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, man, glad we kept it in. Marcus was like, yo, we were talking about it. He's like, man, fuck it. We do what we want. You know what I mean? Keep it in. Don't keep it in. Whatever. Fuck the Marcus in the background like, fuck them fans. So yeah, man, decided to keep it. But yo, that particular scene though, like if you look real close, we're inside of a Fiat that me and Marcus and Keith are probably 2 feet taller than. So
This is the Cinquenze or something.
yeah, yo, it was
I
like
saw a picture of somebody and they're like, "Whoa, that's the Cinco Cinquenze."
yeah, man, super small car, man. Nice moonshot. Thank you. The gradient blend is is a super dope color. Thank you. You killed it on the vid stand. Make me appreciate this track even more. Thank you. Yo, like, I'm really happy that we shot a video for this track because I know that because it's harder than the typical Bop Alloy song, that it's going to be an underappreciated Bop Alloy song. That's just been the history of our group. Anything that we make that's not super chill oftentimes get underappreciated. I know y'all can't see me. I'll bring me back on camera. But yeah, oftentimes the harder stuff that we make gets undervalued or underappreciated because most of our audience, the super, like, there's a lot of people in our audience who really just come here for like really chill like rap, and that's cool. You know what I mean? If that's your cup of tea, cool. But like it's this weird thing that's happened over the years where like so many people like listen to the more chill stuff that they sometimes don't like appreciate as part of it, appreciate the harder stuff. But then there's like this weird like some micro, like, like super minority like within the fan base who one guy said to me on my YouTube channel one time where he felt like I was trying to be something I wasn't, which really let me know. I was like, man, that's a really bold statement for someone who's never met me. You know what I mean? It's like, Marcus is dying back here because he spends a lot of time with me. I remember the first time we kicked it outside of Japan with whatchamacallit, damn it, yo, bring it home, old man. Come on, old man. This has been the inside joke. Oh my God, bro. Zach. We were kicking it with Zach for the first time outside. My first time kicking it with Zach outside of Japan. Bro, we in the car. I'm playing Onyx. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I don't sit around listening to smooth jazz all day, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I saw the KG, the lap holder of all the CDs.
Yeah.
KG CDs.
Oh yeah, you saw yeah.
He said I heard him say. He said, "Fuck Miles Davis."
Yo,
I listen to Kenny G exclusively.
Yeah, you're blowing my cover, bro. But yeah, man, it's always weird. Like when people kind of create this narrative of who you are. I see it all the time with people who are fans of Jen. A lot of times, like talking to me not just about his music, but in terms of who they thought he was as a man. Right? Because of some videos they saw or because they liked the song. I'm like, you gotta remember, there are no words like from him on the songs. So it's important for people to understand that if you don't like you don't know this guy. And then for people like when I had to check the one fan, I was just like, yo, you're forming an opinion about a person you don't know, who you've never met, and that based on your comment, I can tell that you only listen to like a few of the songs I did with Nujabes. So that, and you didn't even listen to my first album. You listened to the songs that I did with Nujabes on his albums, which means you know even less about who I actually am. And so yeah, so it's one of them things that like, it's just a reminder that a lot of people who listen to my music don't necessarily listen to a lot of rap / hip hop. You see what I'm saying? And more importantly, don't necessarily know who I am and what my background is, where I come from, type of people I came up around, some of which, like, I'm still around. So, you know, it's just, yeah, you don't have no idea. Fitting title.
Turn the dreams into workflow while these part-time folks got furloughed. What they put down, I pick it up quick and then I double my workload. Ergo, I always been thorough with a key to the Far East DMV, then back up to the 5 boroughs. No sleep in the stool.
This is these shots here on the steps. Those are the Spanish steps in Rome. You know, historic site. A lot of folks who are basketball fans, you might remember some of those classic shots of the USA basketball team sitting on those steps hanging out after they won the gold.
We little food to eat, but see how the world know. Work ethic second to none, the best that they come. Never regret that I get more respect than I'm selling, but still feel blessed like a one. Used to be sleeping no floors when they hit they ceiling. For me, the sky was the limit. Couldn't disguise their limits, but I kept flowing upstream to crime be rivers. I was designed for winning. Took it to places that some were inclined to visit.
Just gonna take a minute just to appreciate the Coliseum shots, man.
Yeah.
Like that, man, like seeing it at nighttime was crazy, but then just looking at it, man, like, you know, and I appreciate everyone who comments being like, yo, man, those shots were insane. Like, trust me, when we were editing it, like, you know, when, like, in the hotel, because I started editing this before we left Europe, so I've been editing it for just over a month, or not, almost exactly a month I've been editing the video. And, yeah, man, we knew we had something special, bro. Like, just, and it's crazy because when we did the first shots on the roof, it wasn't even a plan to do a full music video. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just do a verse. And then after we do that verse, we'll just cut that up and use that for promo. And then it just gradually turned into a full music video, you know?
We're inclined to visit, even though time is ticking. Still making time to shit, run a mile a minute. Ain't get my mom at the house, but I still made her practice. She loving how I'm living. Don't need a clown opinion. Witness your light, and now they trying to dim it.
So that shot right there is what Early was talking about before. I'm gonna get to the comments in a second. What Early was pointing out, he was just like, yo, it was kind of whack that like people were just kind of walking through the shots and stuff. Or like he said it was whack. He was like, yo, it was disrespectful. And as I mentioned before, because of where I put the camera, it wasn't obvious that we were filming something, right? Like people saw us there saying and rapping, but it was obvious that we were entertaining. One of the funniest moments, I mentioned this last week, but one of the funniest moments is when we were rapping on when I was doing my parts on the Spanish Steps. There was like this little boy, with his family that just kept going, boring, while I was rapping. I never made.
He was talking about you,
bro. I don't know if he was talking to me or talking to his folks.
I thought he was talking about the steps.
I thought he was talking about his folks or talking to his folks at first, but after a while and stuff, there was one time I finally looked in that direction and it looked like he was looking our way, and then he kept saying it, and I'm trying to stay focused because I'm rapping, but yo, it didn't make it any less funny. Like boring. I was like, clearly he's not a jazz rap fan. But anyway, but yo, the timing of this shot here, just going back, of the person walking through the shot as I'm saying the line was like, they witness your light and then they try to dim it, right? Like how that line pertains to what actually happened, the moment, because this, I don't have a bunch of takes of this, right? Like we just ran through the song, you know what I mean? I think we did it once, right? Like we just ran through it once. And that was that. Twice. Right? So we ran through it twice. But I literally, after this shot, I leaned over to Marcus and was like, yeah, we keeping that, yo. Because him walking through at that particular moment was just, I was like, man, that's divine right there, man. That's the universe, bro. So we decided to keep it. And then I was like, yeah, you know, keep that. I can do a fade to black thing at that moment. It just, in terms of the narrative and the story and all of that, or what the rhyme is about, it's perfect. And then even that line and how it pertains to if the little boy was talking about what I was doing, you know what I mean? It works there too. Witness your light and they're trying to dim it. You know what I mean? It's like, look, haters are born every day. Haters born every day. All right, here's the rest of the video.
You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to stand where I stand. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to master my plan. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to stand where I stand. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea. You don't have no idea what it took to master our plan.
subtle too about how what happens like when I'm in the subway area in the first verse, how I eventually, if you pay attention after the verse is done, I start to walk away from the camera, right? Versus when the second verse finishes up or whatever, like after the second verse, after the second verse finishes, like I start to walk toward the camera, right? So like just subtle things like playing on the opposites, right? Like, oh, the light died. Well, we still good. The light looks good. So anyway, yeah, man, just those little subtle touches and stuff to just kind of add to certain things and how it worked. Let's see. The audacity of some folks. These screens have created some of the most bold, uninformed, tough Tonys. Yeah, super facts. What up, Joshua? Good to see you up in here, bro. McCollin says people want things to fit the picture they have in their head so bad. Yeah, man. Oh, y'all referring to what I was talking about earlier. Yep. Oh, man, thank you for the love, especially his low light shot. That's impressive. On a phone. Man, listen. Again, most of these shots, 90+% of these shots are on the phone. But low key fits the idea of the hook. You have no idea. Exactly, right? Like, you know, there's a line that Tone Deaf says in his rhyme, which I think sums up, like, you know, what this song is really about. Like, you know, people don't realize, like, how hard I work and how hard Marcus works, how hard any of, like, our peers work to achieve what we've achieved, right? And the people closest to us, they get a glimpse and they have a better understanding of how much we sacrifice, how hard we work, how much, like, we invest in terms of our time and money to make these things, like, compete at a level that, like, it can stand against, like, other artists around the world. And yeah, man, just, like, you know, trying to, like, sum that up in lyrics, but then making a video that can stand up next to, like, other music videos that we've seen shot and stuff, and then realizing at the end of the day, like, yo, this was all shot on a cell phone that people would try to argue all the time that's inferior to quote unquote iPhones, right? And so it's like, yo,
it is inferior to iPhones, just not the camera.
see this, you hear this?
Oh, no, you're right.
Right.
You're right. Just the camera.
Right. Whatever makes you feel better, sir. It says, I think it doesn't help that these people were only paying attention to their phones and not their surroundings, right? Which, again, like, kind of speaks to the whole thing. Like, you don't have any idea, right? Like, you have no idea, like, largely because it's just like you're so worried about, man, this is a conversation I've had so many times in the last month about how, like, we know too much, right? Like, you know, I'm not saying that we should celebrate ignorance or people should be trying their best to remain ignorant. But, like, the reality of it is, like, the way the world works in terms of, like, with the internet, like, the gift and the curse of the internet, and then us being able to have the internet on our mobile devices. The gift and the curse is that we have access to too much information, right? So, like, you know, that's why, like, you got a lot of whataboutism, right? Like, people can't even focus on, like, when we're trying to resolve an issue. You're talking about one thing, and they was like, oh, well, but what about this? And what about that? And they try to play it like, oh, you claiming you care, but you ain't saying nothing about this issue that exists over here. It's like, well, that's because I'm one person. And that thing you just brought up to me, that sounds pretty terrible. It does, right? But clearly you've read up on it more than I have. So if we're doing the what about thing, what are you doing about it, considering you already knew about it, but there's no evidence of you caring about it on your page, in the work you do, this, that, and the third. So you're just locked in like this, seeing all the bad things. But ultimately, the closest you get to doing something about it is leaving a nasty comment and you know, on the thing, or sharing it out. And for some people, that's the best they can do, right? But for others who claim to care more than the average person, it's like, yo, more is required. So, you know, but we're in this weird time where just people got access to way too much information, man. And so it's like, it makes me think of the Kendrick line. What's the joint from Mama, where he's like, where he's like, the more I know, I realize I ain't no shit till I was back home, you know? Yeah, man. Let's see. So Marcus D, Apple Watch user.
No Apple Watch.
No Apple Watch, just the Apple phone.
Just
That's iPhone. Yep. I say the same thing. Too much info and too much advancement handed too quickly. Indeed. All right.
But I make beats on a PC. I'm a PC master race kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But you know.
I'm the opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Because you got the MacBook laptop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let the video ride out. Outta here.
So if I see a river can, I'ma make it wait.
Man, and that's it. And this shot right here was shot on my phone as well. Yeah, man. So that's the video. Hope y'all enjoyed that little breakdown of it. You know, thank y'all for watching that. Hit you with a couple quick things as we wrap up for the day. Hold on, let's fix this. Boom, bing. Got it. Almost. And we're good. So, real quick, last few things. Tomorrow, or I should say later today, we're performing here in Tokyo at Club Bar Family. It's going to be a great show. Hope to see y'all there. And then later this month, you can catch me at MomoCon. And that is happening in Atlanta, Georgia. Got 2 shows in the works, but they are not confirmed yet. So once that is confirmed, I will let y'all know. But on that note, I'm out of here, folks. You know, y'all have an amazing day. It is 3 o'clock in the morning here, 3:17 to be exact. I'm about to call my family because it's like 2 p.m. and then I'm taking my ass to bed. So y'all have a great one, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. And it's now time for my youngest daughter's favorite part of the show. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. All right, y'all. Peace. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo. Subscribe, like, do whatever you like. Stay subscribed, like, do whatever you like. That's right.